Do you mind, girl? I'm trying to do a video. A cheetah and a lion from Staten Island walk into a bar, and the lion's telling the cheetah that he didn't feel tempted to take a bite out of a human as he was passing by, and the cheetah responded and said, "You're a lion." That's all. That's a joke I made up for all the people that are from Staten Island. Rate it on a scale of 1 to 10 in the comments below. Also, if you haven't checked out my book, Anxiety at the Root, go check it out now. It's on Amazon and it's also on Etsy. It's like, I got lots of exercises in there. It's a short read, but there's a lot of material in it, and it's only $4.99. So go check it out if you struggle with anxiety or any type of negative thinking, even PTSD, any of that. It can be really beneficial and help you to stop having these negative thoughts or these anxious thoughts and heal your body and your mind. Go check it out. Link is all down below. So anyways, today we're gonna be talking about stress relief. I actually was doing a little research and I was looking up, what are the most common things people complain about? And it has to do with stress. So it's like, okay, perfect. Let's talk about stress. And not only that, but as a mom with a toddler, it's pretty stressful. They're constantly trying to themselves, so it's very stressful. Who doesn't have stress in their life? And so I started thinking about, like, what are things I do to maintain my stress? So here are practical tips, and these are things I specifically do to help manage my stress. And so that way I don't have big emotional reactions or meltdowns or like I feel overwhelmed. The key thing when it comes to managing stress is you want to put out fires before they become full-on fires. That's managing stress. Number 1, midday cleanup. If you're a stay-at-home parent or, even at your job, whatever it is, wherever you are, you can always do a midday cleanup. What that is basically like in the middle of the day, like there's always stuff happening in the morning, like that's when you get your day started. There's chaos, there's so much going on, and in the middle of the day you may notice that maybe there's a mess all over the house, or like at work your papers are everywhere, you're disorganized, or like you don't know what to prioritize. This is a good time for you to do a midday cleanup, and you go clean up whatever you need to do. Maybe you notice that you need to shift your priorities at work, or you notice like the kids have made a mess at home, you need to start cleaning up. It's really to prevent you from feeling overwhelmed and like you can't handle what's going on. So in the middle of the day, it could be, you could even do the same time every day, like 2 p.m., 3 p.m. Me and my toddler, I'm like, okay, it's a midday cleanup. Like I let them have fun with whatever, like we have fun with stuff, and then in the middle of the day, I'm like, okay, let's clean up now. Let's do a midday cleanup. Freaking there's a million Elmos everywhere. So the same thing is that you can kind of prioritize and see, okay, what do I need to clean up? What do I need to do so that way I'm not overwhelmed at the end of the day and I feel like it's all on my shoulders. The next thing is a midday check-in. So this is an emotional check-in with yourself where you ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? This is to prevent big explosions, like you snapping at people, your kids, your spouse, your co-workers, whatever it is, to prevent you from snapping. Because what happens is if we don't do a check-in in the middle of the day, we then wind up feeling overstimulated or emotionally dysregulated. We wind up responding in ways that we wouldn't have if we would have taken care of ourselves beforehand. So you check in with yourself, check in how you're feeling. Are you upset about something? Do you need to handle something? Do you need to have a conversation with someone about something? Are you having a lot of negative thoughts? Kind of check in with yourself. And I have a free self check-in that I'll leave right in the link below. I highly recommend you check it out. It's a couple questions to help you become aware of what's going on. I have some tools about negative thinking and how to handle them. And it's free. Who doesn't want free stuff? Just get it because it's free. The next thing is, don't let your first reaction to come out. State your emotion instead. So like when something happens, like there's a spill on the floor and you're rushing to get out the door, whatever it is, instead of like yelling or freaking out at people around you or whatever it is, don't let that reaction out. Take a deep breath and say, I'm overwhelmed, I'm frustrated, I'm upset, I can't handle this. Whatever it is, let out what you're feeling rather than attacking the people around you or just starting to spiral. This will help, one, so like if people around you, they could help you in some sort of way, or it helps you so that way you don't wind up saying something you regret or wind up having to fix a bigger mess later on. Like it's so annoying when something stressful happens and then you now yelled at your partner or something and now you have to go and fix that mess too. So there's so many messes. So don't let out your first reaction, just state the emotion you're feeling. and then identify what you need and attend to that need. The next thing is, don't take things so seriously. There's so many times when I've had a plan for something and there has been some sort of plot twist and I just laugh. I'm like, this is so comical. Sometimes you have to take things very lighthearted. And it's pick and choose. Obviously there's things that are more serious that you need to take seriously, but there's other times when, like, let's say, like, again, you're in a rush and 500 bad things are happening at once. You just have to kind of laugh and pick up the piece and be like, okay, what am I gonna do next? This is hilarious that all of this is happening at the same time. I feel like a lot of times we get stressed because we have this invisible pressure on ourselves, and we have social anxiety about like what people are gonna say if we're late to something, or we have fears about what could happen if we don't do some sort of thing. And so it's really emotional stressor. If we're already late, or we're already, you know, gonna mess up in this thing, so it doesn't help to be negative about it. It more so helps, the more calm and lighthearted you are, the faster you are going to do that thing. When you're stressed, you probably make a bigger mess, you probably are acting more crazy, more bad things are happening, you're more likely to get in a car accident. You know, all these things, when we're highly emotional in a negative way, it's more likely that something bad's gonna happen because we're acting irrationally. We may be more aggressive, we may, you know, be not thinking clearly, so we're making worse decisions. If we're more lighthearted and we're calmer, we're gonna make better rational decisions, so we can get to whatever we need to do quicker and at a more calm, and we are more calm. And also it makes life feel so much better, because life, like, again, like I said, there's always stressors. It feels so much more calm and at peace when we take it more lightheartedly rather than taking everything seriously. And again, like I said, there's things that you do have to take seriously, but not everything. You gotta pick and choose. The next thing is meditate when you first wake up, and then pick your priorities for the day. First thing in the morning, a lot of us have a problem where we go on our phones, we go on social media, or we check our emails, or we're texting people back. Phones first thing in the morning set a bad tone. That sets you already seeking your dopamine releases from your phone. So even if it's 15-30 minutes, I mean, they always recommend an hour, but if even it's 15-30 minutes before you start your day, just don't get to that phone. Don't touch that phone. More so, meditate. You can practice mindfulness. If you struggle with meditating, you can think about what you're grateful for. You can journal. Doing any of that sets the tone for your day, so you are more at peace and at ease, and you're starting the day not high on cortisol and stress, or, you know, feeling bad and seeking short-term dopamine releases. And then after that, you want to kind of prioritize, so that way you have your day planned and you see, okay, what do I expect of myself today? Rather than, like, if you don't set the tone of the day, or you don't know what you're doing, at the end of the day you wind up feeling bad and like, I didn't get what I wanted done today, I didn't even know what I was doing today, or everything was chaos. I felt like life was controlling me rather than me taking control. If you set your priorities, and it has to be realistic priorities, set a couple priorities that you want to get done, you will feel much better, and you're also willing to be like, okay, I set the tone for the day and maybe I didn't accomplish it, but it's okay because I can try again tomorrow. The next is plan your meals one day, like Sunday or something, for the rest of the week. Why does this help you relieve stress? Because we all gotta eat. And it's so difficult trying to figure things out on a whim of like, oh my god, what am I gonna eat? If you already have it pre-planned of like, okay, I'm gonna eat out this day, or I'm gonna pre-plan this meal, make these certain things, it helps you so you do all the work in one day rather than having to do constant mental work of like, what am I doing? What am I doing? So I highly recommend plan. Like, I always take every Sunday, I plan what are the meals of the week, and I don't have to stress to be like, oh my god, like, what am I gonna eat? What am I gonna make? And the last thing is have a cleaning schedule. We all need to clean. I know some of us clean more than others, but it's so important that you have a clean environment, because if your environment's not clean, your mental state's doesn't feel clear, and it doesn't feel good being in a dirty environment. So it's helpful so that way you know, okay, like for instance, me, Tuesdays are my bathroom days, Fridays are my floor and deep cleaning of my kitchen days. You know what to expect of yourself, and you know, like, okay, these are the days I'm going to focus on this part of my house, so that way it's clean. When you don't have a cleaning schedule, time will pass by and you'll be like, oh my god, like, it's dirty in here, like, oh my god, there's scum and there's mold everywhere. So just set a day for cleaning. Even set times when you, like every couple months you clean out this certain thing, or once a month you clean out the fridge. Like, set it for yourself. Do you have to 100% accomplish these things? No, you don't. You may need to, you know, do it a couple days later, whatever it is, but at least you have it in there where you're holding yourself accountable. You're like, this is a priority of mine and this is important to me and I want to complete this thing. I always was afraid to like write things down because I have a phobia of commitment. I don't like when things are written down because it feels final to me. If I don't do it, then I'm like, oh my god, I failed, and I don't like that feeling. But over time, I have gotten past it. I'm like, it's okay for me to fail and maybe not accomplish it on that day. So if you have a commitment phobia like me, just know it's okay if you write it down and you don't 100% complete it. You can always try again the next day or the next day. At some point you're eventually going to get it done, and that's what's more important, rather than worrying about the day that it's written down that you do it. And don't be afraid to ask for help and delegate. That's always helpful and important. So what do you guys think? What are some tips and tools that you use to help you when you are stressed out? Leave it all in the comment below. Let's help each other out. And don't forget to check out my free stress low workbook down below, and my anxiety at the root book. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye guys. Can you believe I have a book? I have a book. If you haven't checked it out yet, what is holding you back? Come on. This is great stuff right here. I'm not biased or anything. What am I wearing? Like, I look ridiculous. I'm gonna have to go in the closet.